No matter where you go in Russia, its heroic past is never far away. Centuries of warfare have forged a nation with a military will. Against its invaders, Russia spared no quarter. I'm Roland Osborne, and I'm here to meet some of Russia's modern warriors and discover their fighting traditions. Riding in a Mi-8 isn't exactly my idea of no-frills flying, but it was the fastest way to get to my destination. I was heading to a classified army base in Moscow to learn about Russia's fighting arts, Go Warrior style. Everybody knows Russia for its incredible military force and some of the toughest soldiers around, but I'm here to meet some of the world's deadliest martial artists. Meet the Spetsnaz, Russia's elite special forces. This unit does it all, from counter-terrorist attacks to espionage missions. These guys pack some serious firepower. But their training isn't just about handling big weapons, it's also about fighting in unarmed combat. Few people know that Russia is actually home to several martial arts. Since the 10th century, various Russian ethnic groups like the Slavs and the Cossacks developed their own native fighting styles. Over the years, the Russian special forces combined these styles into a secret art and called it Sistema, or the system. Until recently, outside of the special forces, very few people knew what Sistema was. My journey took me here to a remote training complex, where I was to learn more. The difference between Russian martial arts and other martial arts styles is that there's no forms, there's no katas, there's no predetermined stances. They had to develop a style that was very effective, yet very easy to learn. One important rule when coming to class is you have to come to class with an open mind. All things are not what they seem to be. This was Vladimir Vasiliev, former Spetsnaz and Sistema specialist. Sistema is one of the few martial arts that trains you to fight off multiple attackers. With attacks coming from all over, Vladimir became a human fighting machine. The secret of Sistema was its three-dimensional, free-flowing approach to fighting. It was unlike anything I'd seen before. Vladimir was more like a body mechanic than a martial artist, as he taught me how to use my body in a whole new way.
Like the whole body works.
It's about very relaxed, and improvise, any move that just flows. The class continued with Colonel Michael Rabko, Vladimir's guru. Michael was a master of movement and taught the system like a ballet class. To prove there were many different ways to handle an attack, Michael asked me to take him on. Although he was big, he moved fast and outmaneuvered me with ease. Round 2 was the punching session. I was hitting Sergey as hard as I could, but he wasn't budging.
Now it's his turn.
When Michael took his turn, it was a completely different story.
And this is pretty much the direction I gave him towards the spine.
The Russian style of punching was an art in itself. It wasn't how hard you punch, but where and how you landed it. The direction of your punch is related to the direction that you push your attacker. So for instance, if he punches me here in the side, he can spin me off in the direction, push me off this way. If he wants to push me straight, he wants to push me down, push straight back this direction. If he wants to push me to the other side, or down like that, He can actually force me and turn me in any direction he wants by the way he punches. With my initiation over, Michael and Vladimir took me out to give me a taste of downtown Moscow. What kind of hat is this?
This is Budenovka. Budenovka.
Across Russia's landscape lie icons of its warrior heritage. But few realize the important role religion played in this tradition. The samurais have Shinto, the Shaolin monks have the temples, and the Russians have the Orthodox Church. Some Russians believe that their faith in God makes them holy warriors. The famous symbol of St. George slaying the dragon represents the triumph of good over evil. Saints like him were warriors who eventually became one with God. Later that evening, Michael invited me to his place of worship at his home. This is truly incredible. Michael has built his own chasovnya, which means a private chapel. And he comes in here and he prays to the saints and the warrior saints, which help protect him and his family. Even today, soldiers like him see themselves as Russian Orthodox warriors. They exist to fight for their family, country, and God.
Предводитель всего воинства небесного. И вот еще.
This is Michael's patron saint right here. This is Saint Mikhail. Michael had served in the Army's Special Operations Unit and had seen a lot of combat in his time. Systema had given him a philosophy and appreciation for life that went beyond fighting. For my protection, Michael gave me a blessing and told me there were deeper aspects I would have to master in the days to come. I have a special present for you that I'd like to present to you. Hank Williams, Dolly Parton, Johnny Cash. Good stuff?
Yes.
Спасибо.
Thank you.
In my next session, I had to learn the breathing techniques that form the foundation of Russian martial arts. Sistema emphasizes proper breathing to prepare both mind and body for combat. Before I could learn how to fight, I had to learn how to breathe. What Alexander was explaining to me is that life begins and ends with breathing. You unconsciously think about breathing every day, but by learning how to breathe, when you're fighting, you have to be relaxed, you have to breathe just normally. What happens is a situation happens, you get scared, you get tense, you stop breathing. So by doing these breathing exercises, you don't have to worry about breathing, you don't get tired, you don't get tense, you just real relax. And it's a very important part of the Russian martial arts training. Later, it was Vladimir's turn to show me the Russian style of knife fighting. Sistema trains you to move so fluidly, you can defend yourself in hundreds of ways.
When I have a knife, right, when I start to touch you, like what I do, I push you. No, you react. When I touch you, you react like when the direction comes. So this way you study it. If the contact comes, at least you have a chance to move, not freeze.
The secret is in timing your move against the knife at the point of contact.
You inhale, bring the shoulder forward, and stop.
By simply moving and breathing, Vlad demonstrated how everything in Sistema came together. Huh. That's all you gotta do. The art of knife defense with no hands. What Vladimir was showing me was once a classified secret in the Soviet era. However, the recent past brought about freedom and change, and Russia's martial arts had made a comeback among the people. On my last day in Moscow, Michael invited me to a celebration of Russian fighting at the Dynamo Sports Complex. The Minister of Justice gave his support. People came to fight, and everyone had a great time.